Hi everyone, this is Elena and welcome to another card video. In this video, I'm making a card using LDRS Creative Beautiful Blue stamp set. So let's get started. So here is the whole stamp set and I'm using some gray cardstock. So I'm taking the largest image from the stamp set and positioning it onto my gray cardstock panel. Right now it measures 4¼ by 5½. And I'm using the anti-static powder, embossing powder body, and then I'll stamp the image using the Watermark LDRS Creative Ink pad. So I'm stamping that twice to have nice coverage because after that we'll emboss in white and then color the image. So we have a nice impression here. And next I'm using the white embossing powder, again from LDRS, but I have it transferred into a container. So I'm applying nicely, making sure that every part is covered. And then using my heat tool, I'll melt that embossing powder. So when you emboss, make sure that everything is melted properly, that there are no loose powders left because when we're coloring, those will just come off. So next I'm putting my panel back into my stamp positioning press or tool, the stamping tool, using here the Misty. And I'll stamp the sentiment. Again, I'll use the Watermark ink and then emboss with white. So I'm using here Hello Beautiful. Kind of positioning those, making sure that they're straight and evenly spaced. Again, I'm applying the anti-static powder, so no random particles of the powder will stick onto my cardstock. Because it's white, this will be very noticeable, so make sure that you apply plenty of that anti-static powder. Next, I'm just melting that. I'll trim my panel here down to 4 by 5¼ So I'm just doing from the right side and the top. And then I'll just pick out a few coloring pencils and we'll do some partial coloring. We're not going to color all the entire image, just the large flower and some of the leaves. And then I picked out another flower that's on top that goes above the large flower. So I'm starting with applying the lightest color first, and then I'm moving to the darkest and then the medium tone. I'm using 3 colors, 3 shades of green here, and then I'll be using some white too. So this is not a rocket science. You can just color the way you want. This is how I do it. It doesn't mean that you need to do it the same way. So I think that I'm done with the leaves, and next I'm moving to the flower. Again, I'm applying that lightest pink, blush pink color onto the entire flower, and then I'll be moving to the darker shades of the pink. So now I'm going with the medium and then the darkest, and I'm gonna go backwards, kind of blending those colors in, and then just add some of the white to add more contrast and interest to my image. So I'm just adding the dark where like those bases of the petals are, where actually the flower is darkest. And then I'm going with the lightest shade of that blush pink and blending everything in. And then I'm adding the white as I mentioned before. So next I'm just coloring that smaller flower that goes above the large flower. And next I'm just making my card base. I'm using some pink cardstock to match the colors that I picked. And then my panel wasn't exactly 5¼ so I just trimmed the bottom so I have even spacing on the right and bottom. And then I'm applying some foam tape on the back, making sure that everything is covered. If you want to mail this card, you don't want to get squished in the mail. So either you can apply fan foam or make sure that you have nice and even coverage on the back with the foam tape. So I'm just adding that in the spaces, that gap there, just pieces of the foam tape, removing the backing. And then I'm using my scoring tool to position that card nicely in that corner there. So now we'll just finish off the card, adding some white enamel dots. So we're gonna let this dry and then your card is ready to go. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, visit the blog as well, visit the LDRS blog, link will be below, to see more details and list of supplies for this card. Bye!